What if I told you Gen Z isn't lazy, not weak, not entitled, not fragile? They're exhausted, and not in the way you think. This isn't about work ethic. It's not about screen time. It's about something deeper, something that's been building quietly for years. So the real question isn't why they're giving up. It's what we've done to make them feel like they should. Reason one, the system feels rigged from the start. You can't win a game when the rules were never made for you. Gen Z walked into a world already burning. By the time they hit their teens, they'd seen more chaos than most adults had at 30. Pandemics, economic collapse, climate dread, social unrest, mental health crises. And then they're told, just work hard and you'll be fine. Really? You hand them a crumbling system, then shame them for not thriving in it? That's not a lack of motivation. That's realism. They see the hustle culture. They see the grind set propaganda. And they're not buying it. Because what's the reward? Crushing debt, a 9-to-5 that eats your soul, a house you can't afford, in a city you can't leave. They've stopped believing in the American dream because they never got the luxury of dreaming in the first place. Reason two, they're starving for purpose, but nothing feels real. Ask someone from Gen Z, what do you want to do with your life? You'll get silence, not because they don't care, but because they've never seen a version of life that looks worth chasing. The paths feel empty. Influencer, corporate drone, freelance burnout. Purpose feels like a luxury, not a right. And here's the kicker. They crave meaning more than any generation before them. But the noise, the pressure, the never-ending comparison, it clouds the signal. So they shut down, not because they're giving up, but because they can't find where to begin. Reason three, they're surrounded by noise, but starved of connection. We told them, express yourself, then gave them platforms that reward performance over authenticity. So now, everything's a brand. Your face, your voice, your thoughts. Every moment is a potential post. Every thought, a potential caption. Likes have replaced validation. Followers replaced community. And clout replaced connection. You can have 200,000 people watching you and still feel completely alone. That's the paradox. The more Gen Z connects online, the more they feel disconnected in real life. So what happens? They retreat. They numb. They stop trying to be seen because it hurts too much when no one really looks. Reason four, their mental health isn't a phase. It's a battlefield. Let's stop sugarcoating it. This generation is struggling, and they know it. Anxiety isn't a buzzword. Depression isn't a phase. Burnout isn't reserved for people in corner offices. This is real. It's relentless. And it's everywhere. They've grown up self-aware, but unsupported. They can name every emotion they feel, but can't afford the therapy to process it. They're drowning in dopamine addiction, constant distraction, and the pressure to be okay. So they fake it. They scroll. They joke about their trauma. They hide behind irony and aesthetics and filters. Because admitting pain feels weaker than pretending it's all fine. But inside, they're screaming, and no one seems to hear it. Reason five, when you don't feel heard, you eventually go quiet. Here's a truth no one wants to say out loud. Gen Z wants to make a difference, but the world keeps telling them their voice doesn't matter. They speak up. They get mocked. They stay silent. They get forgotten. They vote. Nothing changes. They protest. They get labeled. They dream. They get told to be realistic. So the energy drains. Hope gets replaced by apathy, passion by fatigue, and slowly they stop trying. Not because they don't want to care, but because caring has become too expensive. So no, Gen Z isn't giving up. They're adapting to a world that feels cold, chaotic, and uninterested in their humanity. They're not fragile. They're fiercely aware. And that awareness is heavy. They see through the fake smiles, the performative empathy, the thoughts and prayers from people who hold the power to actually change things and don't. So they're choosing silence, choosing stillness, choosing disconnection. Not because they've failed, but because we did. There's still fire in them, still defiance, still raw, untamed potential. You can see it in the artists painting pain into beauty, in the activists refusing to sit down, in the creators building new lanes instead of begging for old ones. They haven't given up. They're recalibrating, burning the old blueprint to draw something real. So don't mistake quiet for defeat. They're not done. They're just tired of pretending everything's okay when it's not. They're tired of being told to smile more while the world crumbles behind them. They're tired of being told to play a game where every move feels rigged. If you're Gen Z, listen closely. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not behind. You're not alone. You're awake in a world that wants you numb. And that is power. It means you feel what others ignore. You see what others deny. And you care in a time where apathy is cool. So don't give up. Rest, recover, reroute, but don't give up. Because this world isn't waiting for someone to save it. It's waiting for someone to rebuild it. And that someone just might be you.